Good evening. On the world news tonight, Kalu cautions against interim government. They will see what will happen. Arewa youths issues turning warning. DSS arrest Igbo leader who threatened to invite Ipob to Lagos. And on sports, Osimhen, Africa's most valuable player. You are watching the world news from BGI TV Current. I am Morire Rebila Lawa. The major news stories. Chief Whip of the Senate, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu, has cautioned Nigerians against calling for an interim government or a military takeover ahead of the May 29 and over date. In a post on the verified Facebook page of the former Abia State Governor, Senator Kalu said there was no perfect election in the world and advised politicians against overheating the polity. His words, our democracy has come to stay and we should not put more interest in things that would strengthen kill democracy but strengthen our democracy rather than disintegrate it. Countries like the United States and India fought several years to keep and sustain their democracies, and we should endeavor to imitate their style. Nigerians should understand that it is unlawful and unconstitutional to discuss interim government or call for the military to take over power. It is important we guard our utterances no matter how aggrieved we may be about certain issues. And to the next story from the north. Arewa Youth Consultative Forum has lambasted some political elements plotting to truncate the May 29 handover by installing a national interim government. Information report that some political bigwigs who were not satisfied with the outcome of the February 25th presidential poll have reportedly vowed that the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not be sworn in as the country's next president come May 29. There has been a series of protests in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, with a call for the cancellation of the poll, which they allege was rigged in favor of the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC. Recall also that the Department of State Services, DSS, on Wednesday raised the alarm over an alleged plot to create an interim government, saying it has identified some key players in the plot. The secret police said the plot for an interim government was aimed at setting aside the constitution and undermining civil rule, as well as plunge the country into an avoidable crisis. And to the next story from Lagos. Operative of the Department of State Services, DSS, have arrested the Igbo of Ajao Estate, Lagos, Frederick Unwajago, who vowed to invite members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, to Lagos to secure properties of Igbo people in the state. Information learned that the Igbo leader was picked on early Saturday in a joint operation by the DSS and the police. It was gathered that the team had traced Unwajago to his palace and he fled. He was said to have been tracked to an hotel in Igbo, where he was apprehended. Information gave the report that in a 49-second video shared on Twitter on Friday by @D1 Ayeko threatened to invite Ipob members up to Lagos, justifying the move in the wake of attacks of some Igbo people in the state. The Igbo leader said he stood by his words, insisting that his people must have a stand in Lagos. When they discover that we have our own security, before they will come, they will know that we have our own men there. I am not saying a single word to be hidden. I am not hiding my words. Let my word go viral. Igbo must get their right and get a stand in Lagos, he said in the viral video. Going on to the next story. Yobe State's Governor, Mai Malam Buni, has said the executive and legislative arms of government must work hard in the next administration. He stated this when he received members-elect of the Yobe State House of Assembly on a courtesy visit after receiving their certificate of return from the INEC last Wednesday. Governor Buni, in a statement by his media aide, Muhammad Mohammed, thanked the legislators, saying the victory in the just concluded election was a collective victory for the people of Yobe State. We must work hard in the next dispensation to improve on human capital development, he said. According to him, to achieve that, both the executive and the legislative arms of government must be on the same page in the interest of the state and its people. to the next story. The Abia State Police Command has alleged that an attack on its men by some members of the indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, resulted in the death of 5 members of the separatist group. Its claim is contained in a statement by the command PRO, Geoffrey Ogbonna. On behalf of the police commissioner, Mustafa Bala, 5 members of the group were shot dead in Osusu, Aba, on Friday as they were on a procession across Aba. Some residents with video evidence said the group was protesting peacefully without disturbance. Chinomso Aka, a witness, said the group was protesting the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu on Friday when the incident happened. In case you're just joining, you are watching the world news from BGI TV Current. Next to come. Chief John Anteye, the chairman of Akpa Traditional Council in Akpa local government area of Benue State, and Odejo K. Akpa, has lamented about the heinous killings of his subjects and destruction of farm crops by suspected armed herdsmen. The invaders were reported to have also invaded communities in neighboring Agatu, as well as Guma and Kwande LGAs, where several persons were killed and many others sustained serious injuries in over 3 weeks of sustained attacks. The royal father, who spoke in a telephone interview, lamented that communities in his domain like Ipob, Odubo, Akanta, Oloba, or Yigi, among others, have been taken over by the invaders in a ceaseless attack on his subjects. According to the traditional ruler, Fulani are invading our local government and some communities like I mentioned, and it have come into severe attack. There have been killings and destruction of farm crops in those communities, he said. Going on to the next story. The first public relations officer of the Nigeria Police, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, has stated that controversial Nigerian singer Portable has at least a 6-count charge against him and he would appear at court to clear his name. Responding to a Twitter user who stated that the police were slow to act against MC Oluomo, who threatened some electorate during the 2023 elections, but swift to pick Portable up, the first PRO in a tweet noted, "I am sure you are very awake as I have addressed MC's case, but Portable has more than 6-count charges to attend to. Apart from resisting arrest and injuring a policeman, he will be charged to court for beating up a guy in Ota who filed a petition to CP Ogun. There are many pending cases of assault on people and attacks, and they will be investigated before people have complained against him. So there is no sentiment in law. Let him appear in court and allow the judge to listen to the charges against him. He has a constitutional immunity anyway." Recall that Portable earlier in the week shared an Instagram live video claiming that some police personnel stormed his bar at Songo Ota at the instance of an internet fraudster, Yahoo boy. The video, which has since gone viral, sparked some outrage online, which prompted the Ogun State Police Command to invite the singer to their office. However, Portable refused to show up. On Friday, the singer was picked up by policemen and is expected to spend the weekend in detention. From that story, we'll go to the foreign story. A tornado tore through the southern U.S. state of Arkansas has killed 3 people on Friday, while severe storms further north in Illinois and Indiana left 3 dead, authorities said. The Arkansas tornado whipped across the state in the afternoon, causing what Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders called widespread damage. Sanders said 2 people were killed in the town of Wayne in the eastern part of Arkansas, while an official in Pulaski County, which surrounds the capital Little Rock, confirmed a fatality there. Significant damage has occurred in central Arkansas, Sanders wrote on Twitter. Little Rock Mayor Frank Scott Jr. said close to 30 individuals have been transported to our local hospitals for treatments. And in the world news is the sports story. Super Eagles forward Victor Osimhen is now the most valuable player in Africa, according to Transfer Market. Osimhen, 24, is valued at 100 million euros by the authoritative website. Leicester City midfielder Wilfred Ndidi is the only other Nigerian player in the top 10. Ndidi, who is ranked in 10th position, is valued at 32 million euros. Mohamed Salah, Achraf Hakimi, Sadio Mane, and Ismail Banaki are in the top 5. Osimhen is expected to leave Napoli this summer, with Manchester United, Chelsea, and Paris Saint-Germain among the interested clubs. The forward has scored 25 goals and provided 4 assists in 28 appearances across all competitions for the season for Napoli. That ends the world news this hour. Before we go, some major headlines. Kalu cautions against interim governments. Also, they will see what will happen. Arewa youth issues 10 warnings. We brought to you DSS arrest Igbo leader who threatened to invite Ipob to Lagos. Also, we must work hard to improve human capital infrastructure and development in Yobe. Lastly, Osimhen, Africa's most valuable player. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagide Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For other placements of goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placements only. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rebila Lawal. Good evening.
Oh, na na na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV, you're one in a million.